Hi, I'm Promise Israel, and today we're going to be talking about having something to fall back on. Let's get started.
Took me a minute for me to get to know you, but I'm here and now I'm ready. I neglected the fact that I didn't know you now, but I'm ready. All
I know we've all heard someone in our family tell us, have something to fall back on. Many parents have said this, grandparents, aunts, uncles, teachers, influencers, people that you look up to, role models. They always tell you, have something to fall back on. And we take that on as an identity, not realizing that having something to fall back on is the reason that you can't fall forward. And for a long time, I thought that maybe I was just strange because the more I heard having a plan B, because that's also saying having something to fall back on, the more I heard people talk about that, the more I saw how no one was ever achieving plan A because they were so heavily invested in plan B, and they thought that I guess plan B should fund plan A. I don't know, but that's kind of what I've seen just my time here on earth. Tell me, have y'all saw something similar to that? Leave it down in the comments. But I'm watching people have a plan B and they're more invested in their plan B than they are in their plan A because they really don't believe in their plan A. And I realized for myself as a young girl, I always believed in my plan A. Whatever it was I was doing at the time, I always went for the highest position or the highest title. I was always very disciplined and consistent. So I would achieve pretty much everything that I set out to do. I'm pretty much excellent at everything that I set out to do. And I take pride in that because I just believed in my plan A. All the way down to when I was an athlete. Either I'm going to bunt or I'm going to swing because I was a softball player. But going up to the plate, I already know what's up. I already know what I'm doing. And I'm going with that no matter what. I'm not going up there and then changing my mind. And I was the type of person that would hit the ball over the gate. You get what I'm saying? I was always the best at my plan A because I was fully invested in knowing that I can achieve this if I just focused on this. Use this for whatever area in your life that you feel like you want to master something, but you're so focused on the plan B that you can't get to the plan A. You can't fully invest in the plan A. I also took this mindset of just being excellent into my journey of being a content creator. See, when I decided I wanted to use my voice on the internet, because see, before I was this person, I was on the internet twerking and being real sexy. I was good at that too, but I've been delivered, I've been made new. Praise God. But before I became this person, I was different. And I said that I knew that I could influence people because I had just so much experience, so much wisdom, and I was really able to see stuff just in a different way than my peers and people around me. And I always knew I was special, but I didn't know how to use it because I don't see many special people. So when I decided that I wanted to really dive into just being someone who can influence people and who could bring people together and who would speak truth and just really tell the truth about certain stuff, I knew that I could not do that and also work my 9 to 5. I tried it for probably about 6 months. This is me diving all in with content, and the diving in with content, it was such a journey because it took me a while to find confidence in my voice. I started with content and I was just doing trendy things and not real fruitful stuff. I would say now, just looking back, I was just on the wave trying to do what someone else was doing to get what I thought I wanted. It didn't take me long to realize in order for me to be the top influencer here on this planet, in order for me to be that, I have to dive all in. In order for me to put out masterful, fruitful content that's going to bring people together, that's going to help mend relationship between parents and children, that's going to build a bridge between families, even if it's never my family, to know that I'm going to be able to be the person that people are going to be able to come to and see that this person is operating on a deeper level. this woman knows something. She's taken some time and she's done some root work to understand the totality of how life should be lived. The fact that I know that's where I'm going to be, I had to go all in, which meant I quit that 9 to 5. Your girl resigned. I retired. I actually call it early retirement. When I'm done with the season, I call it early retirement. I go ahead and I resign that day. I don't even send in 2 weeks because sometimes you just got to make the shift when you have that portal open. And sometimes the portal is that uncomfortable feeling that I would have day in and day out going to that job and getting off that job. Now I enjoyed my boss, I enjoyed my coworkers, I enjoyed my monthly salary, but it was something else that was calling me. And my most creative time is when the sun is up. And I do well being outside, feeling the sun, feeling the energy of God outside. I can't do that if I'm in an office and I don't even have a window seat. I don't even have a window in my office. I am in a dark box all day. I get here at 7:30. I leave sometimes after 5 because I'm a secretary, I'm an administrative assistant, and this is draining me more than it's pouring into me. So, in order for me to become the influencer that I know I'm going to be, in order for me to be the difference maker that I know God has called me to be, I got to retire. That meant that I was all in with my plan A, and I had counted the cost from the beginning. And some of y'all not willing to do that. And I'm not telling you to quit your job. Sometimes you need to just quit old habits. Sometimes you need to walk away from old just ways of thinking, your mindset. Sometimes your plan A, it cannot surface because you are your own enemy. You're not willing to make any changes just to be better. And making changes is necessary in being better and becoming better. So young folks right now, so also, like I was saying earlier, I don't know if I got to this, but sometimes we're so focused on making something that's supposed to be seasonal permanent. And we do this all the time on our jobs. We do this all the time in relationships. We do this all the time, just all the time. You gotta know when the season is up. It's time to flip the page and go to the next chapter because you're done with that chapter. And that does not always have to end in a hostile way. I learned this when me and my girlfriend, we were dating, and great girlfriend, great person. But I knew that God was calling me from that type of lifestyle. And I had to get real with myself, which I thought the only way I could break up with my girlfriend was if something bad happened between us. I didn't know how to just close the chapter because the season had ended, because that was something I wasn't taught. So I had to learn in that season that you have to let go of stuff in order to get something new, in order to walk on new ground. And you don't have to have beef when that happens. If it's time for you to move on and make a shift in a relationship, you just got to do it. It's going to hurt either way. And you also need to remember this: stop thinking that you can walk this earth and not hurt people. Everyone at some point is going to be the person pulling the trigger. And everyone at some point is going to be the person taking the bullet. And I hate to say it like that, but that's just what I see and what I feel about life. Sometimes you're on the giving end, sometimes you're on the receiving end. Either way, you got to be on both sides. It's two sides to every coin. So stop trying to be that person that, oh, I don't want to hurt this person. And, oh, I've been working for this boss for so long. And, oh my God, my children are going to be upset at me. And, oh, what will my dad and my mom think? And, oh, I don't want to leave this place because I have friends. Stop making seasonal situations permanent. Learn when to walk away and don't be delusional. Learn when to let go. Because see, when you holding on to something, this is how your hand is. It's closed tight. Learn how to open your hand and let go. Because if your hand is open, you can receive. Praise God. All of this ties into living a more faithful life so that you can focus on your plan A for that season. Not plan A and B at the same time. Some of y'all are just busy doing nothing. All these plan Bs. No, stick to a plan A. count the cost from the beginning, warming up, and know that when the season is over, that doesn't mean it's a failed season. That's another thing y'all got to think about. That doesn't mean that it's a failed situation. A couple of years ago, I started a volleyball training business, and this business allowed me to go out and do satellite camps at different middle schools, high schools, also host college. Also, I will host showcases for juniors and seniors that were looking for a college home. I had a baby program that my mom and I partnered on. My mom and I always partnered with volleyball, and I was able to really have a lucrative business going on. I was wearing a lot of different hats, but it was under the same umbrella of making your daughter a better volleyball player. And what I learned as this season was closing for me is it wasn't that the season was closing because I had failed. It was the season was closing because it was time for a new season to start. And you got to be willing to let go of something you've done for. I had been doing volleyball for years. It was something I was truly invested in. And for a season, I was holding on to it. And then it wasn't until I learned how to open up my hand and let it go for me to now be resting in just a more feminine posture of how I'm earning money, how I feel about myself. Because volleyball it was stressful on my body, it was stressful on my emotional state. I'm dealing with different situations and players and parents, and it was beautiful. But it was also just time for me to move into something different. And anytime you are trying to get something off of the ground or trying to be better in another area, you got to focus on that, whatever that is. Okay, and that's all I have for today. I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.